Good morning. It's Monday, it's spring break. Ooh, remember that the boat is really going over to one side, and so they're trying to get all the people into the other side. The passengers moved, but they were unorchestrated and inefficient. They rushed this way and that, collecting their belongings, bumping into each other, and calling out to family members who were separated from them in the clamor. Richard yelled, "The first class lounge on the high side is practically empty. Let's duck in there." He grabbed Catherine and dragged her through the crowd with his left arm stretched out in front of him, as if he were a defensive linebacker. But like the Red Sea parted by Moses, a crowd of people poured in after the British couple, and Emily could not follow. She saw Catherine look back for her, and then she was gone. The best Emily could do was pick her way to the high side of the deck. She was trying to stay calm, but she was breathing fast, and she felt nauseated. The boat was at an unnatural angle now. The high side was very much out of the water, and she had to hold on to the railing to steady herself. Bags slipped down the deck. Her, who was thin as a reed, was hanging on to the same railing, with his legs dangling freely at one moment, and his feet scrambling up the incline on the next. Oh my God, she thought, he's barely holding on. Then, silently and with great focus, the captain appeared, staggering against the tilt, making his way to a large locker mounted on the outer wall of the cabin. He opened it, reached inside, and began handing out life vests. Inside the locker, 2 deep and 3 across. Emily closed her eyes. This can't be happening, she said to herself. A little voice in the back of her head said with excruciating calmness, "What a shame, what a waste if this boat sinks." She opened her eyes again, and now the captain was throwing vests willy-nilly to the crowd. One landed in her face, and she grabbed it with her free hand. She didn't hesitate. She didn't really even think. She hooked her arms through the railing to free up both hands and pushed the vest over the boy's head. He was screaming something at her, trying to shove her away, but also hold the railing. She struggled to clip the front, then tried to reach the strap that would pull up through his legs. He kicked her hard in the face, so hard for such a waif, and her arm unhooked from the railing. She lost her balance, stumbling down the hill of the deck straight into the passengers, falling through them, knocking them down. "Maeve," she yelled as she barreled past. "Sorry." She tumbled until she arrived at the locker that had held the life vests, but she was now on her stomach. She couldn't see inside. She fought to stand. Someone fell on her, and she was down again. It was a man with wide eyes, large, and a round face. She cried out as she rolled from under him. She scrambled to her feet and peered in the locker. It was deep, dark, and seemed to be empty. And she had given her vest away. She bent at the waist, stretching her arms into the darkness, trying to feel for a vest on the floor of the locker. She looked over her shoulder as she oh, it's a word I shouldn't read, as she felt around, hoping to see a seat cushion, checking the walls for a life ring, for anything. There was a flash of yellow. She was pushed inside the locker by a person falling against her or by the force of the boat tipping. She couldn't tell. And the locker swung closed behind her. Bum, bum, bum. Chapter 7 tomorrow.